Jake Ball grabbed the best figures of his career of 6 for 49 as more wickets fell on the second day of the LV County Championship match at Trent Bridge between Nottinghamshire and Sussex. The visitors fighting back through Steve McGoffin, who claimed a match 10 for before Luke Wood was in the runs again. After his extraordinary 100 on day one had put his side on top, Ball struck for the second time in the Sussex innings as Chris Nash was LBW in the fourth over of the morning before Craig Kachopa tried to lead a recovery. But Sussex slipped to 84 for 5 in reply to Nottinghamshire's 255 when Ball dismantled Luke Wright's stumps after he'd made 15. And the bowler had the best figures of his career of 4 for 30 when he also found some extra bounce off a troublesome surface to have Ben Brown taken behind by Ricky Vessels for a first ball duck. Wickets had fallen at regular intervals throughout the first 4 sessions of this match, with only Wood and Will Gidman making any scores of note. Kachopa should have been the next to go, but he was put down at slip off Harry Gurney on 19. Kachopa then went after Gidman, pulling the all-rounder for a 6 as he and Chris Jordan decided, as Wood had done on day one, that attack was the best form of defence on this pitch. Jordan played some splendid shots in his 39, which had his side fighting back as the England man helped put on 69 runs for the 7th wicket in 11 overs to just about balance this game back up. Wood unable to add to the 2 wickets he picked up on the first evening. Well, that was until, with the total on 153, Jordan lost his off-stump to Wood, who was continuing to have a match to remember. Ball returned to the attack, looking for his first ever 5-wicket haul, but Kachopa maintained his form, reaching the 50 mark for the first time this summer off 80 balls, his 8th 4 to go along with his 1-6 taking him there. It was an invaluable knock for his team. He'd added another 28 runs for the 8th wicket with Ollie Robinson, who edged the professional partnership breaker, Stephen Mullaney, to Gidman in the slips. Ball then had his moment in the sun in the next over, Kachopa's innings ending on 54 as he dragged the delivery back onto his stumps at 185 for 9. 4 runs and 10 balls later, and Matthew Hobden was LBW to Ball, who had figures of 6 for 49 from 17 overs, as Sussex were dismissed for 189, and that left them 66 runs behind on first innings, Wood with 3 for 61. A 66-run lead was a lot on this surface, but not for the first time this summer. Nottinghamshire let a good position slip in their second innings. They began well enough with Brendan Taylor and Mullaney adding 28 to their lead, but then McGoffin bagged his 7th wicket of the match by flattening Taylor's middle stump on 7. Next over, and another top-order collapse was on in this match, the new ball causing yet more damage as Mullaney on 20 edged Robinson to Jordan. 32 for 2 became 38 for 3 as Alex Hales got a straightforward nick off McGoffin to Brown. And 10 runs later, James Taylor was back in the hutch after being given out LBW to Robinson, a decision which appeared to surprise the acting Nottinghamshire captain. Vessels had tried to remain positive, but in doing so, he was taken at third man by Wright off Jordan, and Notts were back in trouble on 76 for 5. This match has followed a similar pattern throughout, with batting becoming a lot easier as the ball softened. One man needed to play an innings of note to make the most of that, and it looked as if it was going to be Samit Patel, who's had a quiet season so far. He lost Greg Smith at the other end as McGoffin won an appeal for a catch behind, with Notts now on 108 for 6. And 3 balls later, as Gidman was hit in the chest before the ball rolled onto the stumps, McGoffin had 10 wickets in a match for the 3rd time in his career. He also had Nottinghamshire back in the mire, now on 108 for 7 with a lead of 174, but Wood, whose top score was 26 before he made his remarkable ton on the previous day, was back on song again, and with Patel producing his best innings of the summer, the home side were getting themselves well ahead. Patel's half-century, a crucial one for his team after he dropped to number 6 in the batting order, was made off 65 balls and innings containing 8 fours. If he could keep going for a while, then he would be batting his side into a very dominant position. Notts and Wood had a big stroke of luck when the batsman was bowled off a Jordan no ball, the left-hander on 35 at the time, his partnership with Patel closing in on 3 figures. That was completed as Patel came down the pitch to McGoffin to drive the bowler down the ground for a 6 to move into the 80s. Meanwhile, Wood continued to amaze for the second day running. It was Groundhog Day for the Sussex attack, who must have been suffering from deja vu. Wood may have been pinching himself again when he reached another 50 with another moment of fortune, this one coming off 81 deliveries with 5 fours included. At least by now he knew what he was capable of. He's suddenly a Premier all-rounder after his unbelievable efforts in this match. Could he really make 2 tons in the same game, batting at number 9? He'll go again on the third morning with 52 runs to his name. His partnership with Patel, who has 88, realising 120 so far for the 8th wicket. It means that Nottinghamshire will resume on 228 for 7, and that has them 294 runs to the good.